My name is Tracey Lee Zu, Campbell, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at Payflex. So I think South Africa is in an interesting kind of part of its trajectory. You know, if we look at the GDP and we look at kind of economic growth, things have been a bit difficult globally for the last few years, coming out of a recession, and now is the time for us to fly. If we don't take this opportunity by the horns now and we don't have enough contributors to this economy, we won't see it grow to the extent that we need it to for the next kind of 10 to 30 years. So a summit like this, where we're talking about how can we create jobs, what does that look like? We're talking about entrepreneurship, stimulating small businesses and startups and how they can grow and scale and make jobs so that people can contribute economically. It's very important for us to have this mindset now. So, I can look at this from my point of view. I am a marketer. I'm a marketer at heart. And on my panel, for example, everybody else, they're all marketers, and people from within, different panels and different discussions, they all have different core professions, but they're all coming here talking about one thing, and that's the future of jobs. And what I found is that, it's really made me think about this not from a functional point of view. It's made me think about it from a business point of view, where everybody that is in business, whatever the function is that you're in, we all have a responsibility to assist in creating jobs and think about this strategically from a country point of view. Well, I think everybody has probably said this to you today, and I think that this is the growth of tech and AI. I think there's a lot of fear around AI. There's a fear that it's going to take jobs away from people. I personally don't think that this is the case. Having dabbled a little bit in AI and tried to see what works, what doesn't work, how can we leverage it to the best of its ability. And I think it's actually just going to change the way people work, how they use it, how they, how they can save time to do more of what they are actually skilled and trained to do. So I think it's important because you can't go at it alone. We were discussing it earlier in the panel. I think that you have to create an ecosystem where everybody is incentivized and everybody wins. And for that to happen, something has got to give. I made a comment about, if we're going to go out to the market and try and pull on the heartstrings of the capitalists with a marketing campaign and hope that they open up and create more jobs because it's the right thing to do, let's be realistic, that's not going to happen. Government has to incentivize in some way. They need to structure some kind of, whether it's a startup and corporate incubator, where the partnerships are incentivized, whether it's relaxing regulation, whether it's changing or shifting policy to incentivize businesses to create more jobs or work more closely with startups that work. So my advice, two pieces of advice. One is be creative and don't be afraid of your creativity. If you look at South Africa, I sit and I see this every day. If you wait 5 minutes, somebody else is going to come up with the same idea, if not better. So you have to trust your creativity and go forward with it. And the second is to be quick with it. So build the plane while you're flying, because just now you're going to be leapfrogged and just now you're going to be irrelevant. So you have to do it quickly. In a single word. Give me two. I think it's energizing and it is inspiring. So being here and seeing the interest of everybody in and really deeply investing in how we can move our economy forward and coming up with real creative solutions to create more jobs and actually making them actionable, for me is not something that I sit and deal with every day. So seeing it in action has inspired me and energized me to want to do more and think of ways that I can personally contribute or how my business can contribute. And I've come up with some good ideas.